All right, good day, our viewers at home. Not to waste our time, we are treating series of past questions to assist our primary school students that are trying to gain entrance into different secondary schools. And one of the questions we are looking at today is a question from one of the best school in Nigeria, one of the best secondary school in Nigeria, which is the International School University of Ibadan. This is a question for 2013 2014. The first question here says add 28.64 naira, 7.56 naira, 17.92 naira, and 63 kobo. Not to waste time, let's have the naira and kobo units. The first one is 28 naira 64 kobo, followed by I can decide to pick the 17 naira. 17 naira 92 kobo for proper arrangement. Then followed by 7 naira 56 kobo. Don't forget to follow the units, tens, hundred. Don't forget to follow that. And lastly, we're having 63 kobo. I can't put my 63 here, no. It means I've placed it as naira. So since I'm dealing with kobo, I have to place that 63 in the kobo segment. So to aid me and avoid errors, I will just make this 0 naira 63 kobo. Now let's add 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 6, 12 plus 3, 15. 1 plus 6, 7, 7 plus 9 gives us 16. 16 plus 5, 21. 21 plus 6 gives us 27. So I'm having 2 here. 2 plus 8, 10. 10 plus 7, 17. 17 plus 7, 24. I'm going to keep the 2, which is 20. But let's move on. 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. So the answer we derive here is 54 naira 75 kobo. And if you have the question with you, that is option C. Option C. If you have a copy of the past question, you can check it. Now let's move to the second question. Let's move to the second question. The question reads thus: the sum of two numbers is 156 and their difference is 18. Find the smaller number. Okay, not to waste time, let's assume we have x and y. So let's make x the bigger number, y we have y as the smaller number. So let's say the bigger number or the larger one, y this one is the what, the smaller number. Now let's go back to the question. When we add x and y, x plus y gives us 156, and we have know that the number is subtracted from each other. But for us to have 18, definitely it means we have made something we call the positive difference, which means a big number minus the small number. So big number minus small number gives us 18. Assuming we have minus 18 here, it means we have made a negative difference. That will be small minus big. So I believe that is clear enough. Now let's use elimination method because of the signs we are having here, plus y minus y, and there's no coefficient. So I can easily say add, this is equation 1, equation 2. So add equation 1 and 2, and by adding that x plus x will give us 2x, plus y plus minus y will give us 0. So that is out. And lastly, 156 plus 18 should give us 6 plus 8, 14. 1 plus 5, 6 plus 1, 7. That gives us 174. Let me write it properly. 174. Then for me to get the value of x, I'm going to divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 2. So that will be 2x divided by 2 is equals to 174 divided by 2. And by so doing, therefore, our x here is 2 in 17, that should be 8. Then 2 in 14 gives us 7. If you multiply it, 2 times 87 should give us 174. Now let's solve for y. To find y, let's take any of the equation. I'll take equation 1. Put x equals to 87 in equation 1. And our equation 1 says x plus y equals 156. If I put x here, I'm going to have 87 plus y equals to 156. For me to get the value of y, that will be 156 minus 87. How did I get that? There's a sign here which is not visible. It's a plus sign. And if I'm moving this 87 to the back of this number, in as much it is crossing this equal sign, the sign here will what? It will change. So if the sign here before is minus, it will change to what? Plus. As simple as that. So y is equals to, let's take away 87 from 156. 156, 87. This is 4. This is 16. This will give me 9. 14 minus 8, 6. That is 69. 69. Yes, that is correct. So the smaller number is 69. And if you check your past question, you will see that that is option B. That is option B. In a certain examination, it was possible to get 500 marks. So that's the first thing. So we can see the total mark obtainable is 500. Then a boy got 370 marks. So we can say mark or marks obtained. Marks obtained is 370. 370. Now, what is the percentage of the full mark obtained? So for a boy to get 370, let us represent his score in percentage. Now, as easy as that, what he got is 370 out of 500. And for us to make it a percentage, that will be multiplied by 100 all over 1. So let's just cross the numbers out. Then we're having 370 divided by 5. 37 divided by 5 should give us 7. And we're having remainder of 2. Then 20 divided by 5 is 4. So that is 74%. And that is option D. That is option D. Let's go to the fourth question. We are given this number 16, that is 16.0681 to 2 decimal place. to two decimal place. Now after the decimal point, this is the first number and this is the second, two decimal places. Now behind this 6 is a number here which is 8, and in as much the number we have behind the number we are trying to approximate is 5 and above, we are going to add 1 to this. That means we are rounding it up. But if the number behind it is less than 5, we are going to add 0 to this. It means we are rounding it down and the value will not change. So here we are having 16.06. The number behind 6 is 8, so I'm going to add 1 to this. That means I'm rounding it up to two decimal place, and that will be 7, 0, that is 16.07. And the option there is option A. We have the following sets of fractions. The first one is option A, which is 3 over 5. Option B, which is 5 out of 8. Option C, 7 out of 10. Option D, 13 out of 20. And option E, we're having 1 out of 4. Now, to solve this, I can just find the LCM of all the numbers, not to waste time. Though there are different approaches I can use, but let's just find the LCM since the numbers here are very easy in calculating the LCM. So the LCM of all the numbers here is 40. So 5 in 40 should give us 8. 8 times 3 is 24 for option A. For option B, 8 in 40 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. For option C, 10 in 40 is 4. 4 times 7, 28. For option D, 20 in 40 is 2. 2 times 3 is 26. And the last one, option E, 4 in 40 is 10. 10 multiplied by 1 gives us 10. And based on the question here, we are asked to find the smallest fraction. The smallest fraction is having the smallest number, which is 10. So therefore, 1 over 4 is the smallest. That's the smallest fraction we have there. And that is option E. Option E. Let's look at the sixth question. We are making progress. Sixth question. What is the cost of 480 articles at 120 1 naira 20 kobo each? So the cost of 480 articles at 1 naira 20 kobo each. This is just as easy as it sounds. Each, when you hear each, it means you're buying one for 120. I mean 1 naira 20 kobo. Sorry for that. If you're buying 4, 1 naira 20 kobo times 4. Now you're buying 480. So this multiplied by 480. Now to do this, let's multiply 1 naira 20 kobo by 480 naira. And to start with, to make the work very easy, if I take away the 0 here, that is this 0 multiplied by 1 naira 20 kobo, that will give us 12. These are logics you should know in mathematics when solving a question. That will make you get your answers fast. So if I'm having 4.6 multiplied by 10, that will be 46. So with that logic, 1.2 multiplied by 10, 10 here is representing 10. So that should give us 12. So I'm trying to make it faster. So that will be 12 naira multiplied by 48. That will make the work faster. And with that, if you multiply 12 by 48, let's do it somewhere though I can get the answer offhand. But for the sake of those watching us at home, let's do it somewhere. 48 multiplied by 12. And there are tricks we can use to do that instead of doing it in this long way. Let's do 48 times 10. That will give us 480. Add it to 48 times 2. That will give us 96. I think that's very fast. As a mathematics student, you have to learn faster way of solving your work. So 12 times 48, I will do it again. I will take 10. 10 multiplied by 48. That will give me 480. And I will take the 2. 2 multiplied by 48. That will give us 96. Instead of doing a long multiplication. So we add it together. 6, 8 plus 9, 17. So that is 576. So in case you want to know more about the logic I just used there, you can inbox us. You can make a comment on our comment box to explain this kind of logic for you further. That will make you get your answers faster when having your examinations. So let's move on with question 7. Question 7, we have a sequence here and we are asked to determine the next term of the sequence. The first term is 2, followed by 5, followed by 10, followed by 17, followed by 26. So we are to determine the next number on the sequence. And looking at this, the first thing you have to determine is the common difference, or how the sequence is progressing. This kind of sequence is if you look at it, it's increasing. So it could be multiplying or it could be adding. But let's look at the common difference. Between 2 and 5, we're having plus 3. Between 5 and 10, we're having plus 5. Between 10 and 7, we're having plus 7. Between 7 and 26, we're having plus 9. Let's take it again. 3, 5, 7, 9. So which means the numbers are increasing by 2. 3 plus 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 plus 2, 9. So the next one should be plus 11. And if we add 11 with 26, we're going to get 37. So that is option. So the answer is 37. That is option E. That is option E. Let's look at the eighth question. All right, question number 8. We're having the square root of 64 multiplied by the square root of 9, all divided by the square root of 36. By now, these are small numbers. You should know the square root of these numbers offhand. But in case you don't know it offhand, there are ways of calculating it. So in case you need a tutorial on that, you can make a comment on the comment box of these video clips, and we're going to make a video on how to calculate the square root of numbers. But these are very simple numbers that a student trying to gain entrance into JSS1 should know. So the square root of 64 is 8. The square root of 9 is 3. And the square root of 36 is 6. If I multiply this, that will be 24 divided by 6. And dividing it further, that will give us 4. And looking at the question with me here, that is option A. Option A. Now to question number 9. Question 9. The angle between the hand of a clock at 3 o'clock is what? Now if you're having a clock, we have 12, 6, 3, 9. 1, 2. I don't need all this, but let me just put it for proper explanation. 8, 10, 11. Now the time is 3 o'clock, so definitely the longer hand is facing 12, while the shorter hand is facing 3. And He said, what is the angle between the hand of a clock at 3 o'clock? Anyway, here we are having two angles, but I believe what they're asking us here is the shorter angle. The shorter angle. But we are also having another angle here, and it's still between 12 and 3. So we can have the small angle and we can have the large angle. But looking at the options here, I believe what the examiner is asking is the smaller angle. And for us to know this, the angle in a circle is 360. And if you look at this, if you count it one by one, we are having 12 from here to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it means 360 divided by 12. So each movement will give us 30 degrees. If you divide 360 by 12, you'll be having 30 degrees. Now 3 o'clock, it means you are moving 1, 2, 3, and that is 3 multiplied by 30, and that is 90 degrees. And as you can see it, this is the right angle, 90 degrees. That's option A. Now let's move to the 10th question. Question 10. A motorist traveled a distance of 60 kilometers. So the distance covered here, the distance is 60 kilometers in 1 hour 30 minutes. So we can say the time or duration is 1 hour 30 minutes, or I can simply say 1.5 hour. I'll prefer to use this since I'm having a very straightforward time. So this could be time, or you can call it duration. Duration. Now let's move on. What is the question? What is the speed in kilometer per hour? So in fact, there's no point using this minutes since the question is saying in kilometer per hour. So I'm going to make use of this time. And the next thing you should know is what the formula to calculate your speed. To calculate speed, it is distance all over time taken. So distance over time, let us put it that way. Distance all over time. The distance there is already in kilometer, so I will just use that straightforward. 60 kilometers all over the time. Let me call it 1.5 hour. And I can convert this to an improper fraction. 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. 2 plus 1, 3. So that is 3 all over 2 hour. Then how can I solve this further? This simply means 60 divided by 3 over 2. So that is 60 divided by 3 over 2. Very straightforward. And when I'm having divide sign here, I have to turn it to multiplication sign. 60 multiplied. I won't write 3 over 2. No, I'm going to turn it upside down. That will be 2 all over 3. 3 here 1, 3 here 20. Then when you multiply 20 by 2, that will give us 40. So back to the question, the speed here is 40 kilometers per hour. 40 kilometers per hour. Let's move on to question number 11. Okay, so question number 11. In a society of 100 members, 100 members, in that society, 60% of them paid 10,000 naira each. 60% paid 10,000 naira each, and the rest paid 15,000 naira each into a charity appeal fund. How much did they contribute in total? Okay, I'll explain the question again. In a society of 100 members, 60% of the members paid 10,000 naira each. 60% paid 10,000 naira each. And the remaining percentage of the 100 members paid 15,000 naira each. The question is so straightforward. Out of 60%, out of 100%, if you take away 60%, we are left with 40%. Now, they're asking us what is the total amount contributed to the charity home. Okay, of course, the number here is even 100, so that makes it a straightforward question. Assuming it is 200 or 500, there will be a need to find 60% of the members. So if you find 60% of 100, you're going to get 60. If you find 40% of 100, you're going to get 40. So that one makes it straightforward. So now that simply means 60 people or 60 members paid 10,000 naira each, and 40 members paid 15,000 naira each. Now let's multiply 60 by 10,000. We're going to have 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 600,000 naira, plus, if you multiply 40 by 15,000 also, we're going to have 600,000. You can do that on a rough sheet at home. You can do that with, you can calculate it somewhere. Then we're going to add it together. 600,000 added to 600,000, that gives us 1,200,000 naira, and that is option D. Now to question number 12. Okay, to question 12, we have this Roman numeral and we are asked what does it represent. M in this place represents 1000, plus, when we have CM, that is saying take away 100 from 1000, and that is 900. So CM represents 900. L represents 50, but we are having X next to it. So we are going to add these two together, and that is what, 60. And the last one, IV. Assuming we are having VI, that should have been 6, but IV here represents 4. So let's add it together. That will give us 1,964. That is option B. Now let's look at question 13. Question 13. Okay, here from 9:10 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. How many minutes? How many minutes? Okay, let's take away 9:10 from 11:45, since both are on AM. Assuming this one is on PM, we can convert it to a time on GMT. But both are on AM, there's no point doing that. So just have 11:45 minus 9:10. I'm doing this because both are on AM. Okay, 5 minus 0, 5, 3, 2. We are having 2 hours 35 minutes, But that is not the question. We have to calculate the number of minutes. So I'm going to change these 2 hours to minutes. 60 minutes make 1 hour. So 2 hours multiplied by 60 minutes will give us 120 minutes. Then adding it to this 35 minutes, I'm going to have 155 minutes. So from the question, 155 minutes is option D. Option D. Okay, for question 14, 1 over 3 of the population of a school, sorry, I just wrote it in a shortened form, is 500. What is 20% of the school? Now, before I can do this, before I can get 20% of the school, I have to get 100% of the school. And don't forget, 100% of any number is represents the whole fraction. So 100% represents 1. And for me to get 1 from this fraction, I'm going to need 3 over 3. So if I can get 3 over 3 of the population of this school, it means I've gotten 100% of the population of the school. So from this now, from this 1 over 3, which is 500, I'm going to get 3 over 3, which is 100%. Now let's start from that. Now, if 1 over 3 is 500, definitely 3 over 3 will be bigger than or will be more than 500. And if more, let me do it this way. If 1 over 3 is 500, then therefore 3 over 3 will be more. And if more, the less we divide, the less among the fraction we divide. So that will be 3 over 3 divided by 1 over 3 multiplied by 500. I'm trying to get 3 over 3, which is 100%. Then I can't stop here. That will be 3 over 3 multiplied by 3 over 1 multiplied by 500. This will cut this out. If I multiply 3, which is here, by 500, I'm going to have 1500, which means 3 over 3 equals to 1500 students. So what I got here is just 3 all over 3, and which is also 100%. Now back to the question, what is 20%? I will come back again and say if 100%, which is 100 over 100. So if 100% is, let me use this, is 1500, then what is 20%? 20% is represented by 20 all over 100. 20% will be less. 20% is less than 100%. So if less, the more we divide. Here we said if more, less divides. So now if less, the more. 100% is more than 20%. So that will be 20%, which I'm writing as 20 over 100, divided by 100 all over 100. 20% divided by 100% multiplied by 1500. I'm trying to calculate the 20%. I won't stop here. That will still be 20% multiplied multiplied by 100%. Don't forget, if I turn it upside down, it is still 100 over 100. Then multiply by 1500. So this is out. 0 cancel 0. 2 here 1, 2 here 5, and 5 here 1. 5 in 1500 will give us 3 100. So therefore 20% is equals to 300. And we are talking about 300 students. 300 students. So that's option B. Option B. Now let's move to question number 15. All right. Okay, arrange in ascending order of magnitude. So when you hear ascending order, we are simply talking about from the smallest to the biggest. So to make it very easy, since everything here is a decimal, I will look at the ones that have enough, as in the longest digits after the decimal point. This is one. This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is having four digits after the decimal point. So I'm going to multiply all the numbers here by one, by 10,000. I will multiply all the numbers here by 10,000. Why? I need a number that has four digits so that I can take away all the decimal points. So 0.3 when multiplied by 10,000 multiplied by 10,000. You can see 10,000 is having four zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I'm going to get what? Let me show you what I'm going to get. 0.3 multiplied by four zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will give me 3,000. Then the next that I'm going to solve is 0.268 multiplied by 10,000 as well. Let me also show you how I got my answer here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm moving four times because there's four zeros here. So the decimal point has moved here, and this one has become 2,680. So you can follow me at home on how I'm going to get the next one. I won't show the movement again. 0.075 because of the time, multiplied by 10,000. If I move four times, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is going to give me 750. 750. You can do that in your notebook. And the last one, 0.0079 multiplied by 10,000. Multiplied by 10,000. If I move four times as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, that will give me 79. Now let's arrange it in ascending order from the smallest. This is the smallest. So, and that will be this decimal point. This decimal fraction. That's the smallest, 0.0079. The next one obviously is 750. So that will be 0.075 followed by 2680, and that is 0.268, and lastly 3000, which is 0.3. 0.3. And if I look at the question here, question 15, that is option A. Option A. Okay, we have to calculate the perimeter of this shape in meters. This is a compound shape. We have to calculate the perimeter. Perimeter means we have to add all the sides, but a side is not yet known from this place to this place. That's the only thing we have to know before we add everything. Perimeter means adding all the sides together, and this is not a circle that you need the formula. Now, and this is not area that you have to separate the shape or partition it. So let's move on. Let's look for the dimension from this place to this place. If from here to here is 2, from here to here is 2, from here to here is 3, that is from here to here is 3. So this is 2 plus 3 plus 2. That will give us 7. 2 plus 3, 5. 3 plus 2, 7. So the length of this place is 7 centimeters. So let's add it together. I will start from this place. 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 7, all as centimeter for now. This is 3, 5, 8, 10. 10 plus 2, 12. 12 plus 1, 13. 13 plus 7, that is 20 centimeter. But we are asked to give an answer in meters. So you have to be uh, conversant with your conversion rate. If you are moving from centimeters to meters, you are going to do what? You are going to divide by, you simply divide by 100, because 100 meters make, I mean 100 centimeter makes 1 meter. 100 centimeter makes 1 meter. So 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. So I'm moving from centimeter to meter. I will divide by 100. I'm having 20 here. That is 20 centimeter divided by 100. And that is 0.2 meters, which is option D. Then you might ask me, how did I get 0.2? If you're having 20 like this and you are having 100, let me use the long division in case you don't understand that. 20 divided by 20 is quite impossible, so I'm going to add 0 here. Then dividing 100, I mean dividing 200 by 100, you're going to get 2. So that's how I come about 0.2. Question 17. Calculate the area of a circle. Calculate the radius of a circle if the area of that circle is 4,840. And we know that the formula for area of a circle is pi r squared equals to area. Pi is always represented by 22 over 7, or 3.14 approximately. So 22 over 7 r squared is equals to the area given to us here, 4,840. Now I can do it this way. I can simply multiply this together, and that will give me 22 r squared all over 7 equals to 4840 all over 1. Now if I cross multiply this, that will give me 22 r squared is equals to 4840 multiplied by 7. Let me come back to this. 22 r squared over 7 equals to 4840. So if I cross multiply it, I will have 22 r squared equals to 4,840 multiplied by 7. And that is what we have here. So let's continue. I will divide both sides of the problem with 22. So dividing both sides by 22, I'm left with radius raised to power 2 here. And if I divide this by 22, 4,840 divided by 22, you can work that back home. That will give you 220. That will give you 220. 220 multiplied by 7 is 1,540. But what I'm trying to calculate here is radius. So I will find the square root of both sides. This type of question might be tasking for primary school students going into JSS1, because to calculate the square root of 1,540 might give them some headache, because it's not a perfect square root. So, but using a method or using a calculator, radius here will give you 39.2 meters. So the radius is 39.2 meters. So that is option B. I'm sure most students will find that question a bit difficult. So let's go to question 18. Okay, question 18 reads thus. I already drafted it out, but let me read it from the question paper. The simple interest of 2000 naira for 1.5 years is 240 naira. What is the rate per annum? What is the interest rate per annum? So to calculate this, let's use a very straightforward formula. We're trying to calculate rates. And to calculate rates, we have a formula we can use, which is simple interest multiplied by 100 divided by principal multiplied by time. Now let's come here. The simple interest is already given to us, which is 240. Simple interest of 2000. The simple interest is not 2000 naira. They said the simple interest of 2000 for 1.5 year is 240. So this is our simple interest. Most students might be confused with this question by taking 2000 as the simple interest. The 2000 here is the principal. This is the principal. So 240 multiplied by 100 divided by, what's our principal? The principal is 2000 naira. Then the time, 1.5 year. Convert that one to an improper fraction. You're going to have 3 all over 2. Now let me divide it. 2 here, 1000. 0 is cancelling 0. 0 is cancelling 0. 0 is cancelling 0. So for the rate, I'm left with 24 divided by 3. And if I divide that, that will be 8. But don't forget, rate, I will use percentage. So 8% per annum. And that is option E. Option E. Okay, question 19 reads thus. John and his three sisters shared 1228 oranges. So John is having three sisters. Let's say sister 1, sister 2, and sister 3. The three of them, they shared 1228 oranges. Now, John had 20 oranges more than each of his three sisters. What was his share? Now, let's assume the share of the first sister is X, the second sister is X, and the third sister is X. But we are being told that John's share is 20 more than that of her sisters, which means our sisters have equal share, X, X, and X. Only John is having X plus 20. So this is for John, X plus 20. Others are having X, X, and X. Now, the question is this. What is the share of John? Don't forget, if I add all these four together, I'm still going to get 1228. But I'm asked to find John's share. So John's share is represented by X plus 20. So before I do that, to get John's share, I have to find X, which is the share of each of the sisters. After getting the answer, I will add it to 20. As simple as that. So let's move on. X plus 20 plus X plus X plus X gives us 1228. That is 1228. Add these three together, 1 2 3 4, sorry, that is 4x plus 20 equals to 1228. 4x is equals to 1228. I'm trying to move this outside. The sign here is plus, it will change to minus. So that's 4x is equals to 1208. If I minus 20 from this, I'm going to have this. And the next thing to do is to divide both sides by 4. But let me just show it as the next step, so I won't jump any step. 4x divided by 4 equals to 1208 divided by 4. So x here, 4 in 12 is 3. Don't just say 4 in 8, 2. That will get your answer wrong. 4 in 12, 3. 4 in 0, this is 0. Then 4 in 8, this is 2. So this is the share of each of the sisters. Now let's get John's share. John's share is x plus 20. X plus 20, which is 302 plus 20. And that is 322 oranges. Let me check the unit. Yes, oranges, which is option E. Which is option E. Okay, the last question here says the 20 question for number 20, not the last question, sorry for that. The area of a garden square in shape. So this is the garden square in shape. Square in shape. We are being told that the area of that garden is 676. So the area is 676 square meter. So I can write like this, meter squared. Though in the question it is written as square meter. So it is the same thing as meter square. So when you see such in your examination, don't get confused. So let's move on. This is square and that is saying all the sides are equal. Now the question is this: how long is the side? Once I can get one of the sides, they are all equal. Don't forget the area of a square is L times L. Length times length equals to area, and length multiplied by length equals to 676. So which number will I multiply together that will give me 676? 676. That simply means find the square root of. So I can do like this: L squared is 676. Calculate the square root of both sides. The square root will take away the square, so the length here should be 26. 26 multiplied by 26 will give us 676. But you can still check this with your calculator, or you will calculate it with your notebook if you know how to do that. So that is the answer for that 26 meter, which is option B. Option B.